What's up, guys? I'm back at the facility. Instead of doing a classroom session today, I want to go through some lead-off stuff. And so rather than do it live and have to change cameras and switch to the computer and stuff like that, it'll just be easier for me to record it and have you guys watch it later tonight. So we're going to go through each base, how to take a proper lead, what to be thinking about, what to be looking for with the pitcher. We'll break it down between a front view, and I've got another camera set up to do a side view, just so you guys will get to see different angles and you get to see different perspective. Alright, we're going to start with first base, and the thing that I want to start out with is actually how to take a sign from our coach. Just make sure that when we're taking signs, that we're always taking a sign on the base. Alright, that pitcher and catcher are going to be doing their thing, giving each other signs. We want to make sure that we're on the base so that we're not caught looking across the field and we get picked off while we're taking signs. Alright, so make sure that we got a foot on the base, taking signs from my third base coach. If he's going too long and it looks like they're about to deliver a pitch, let's try to get time from the umpire. Alright, but let's make sure that we're always on the base when we're taking signs, whether it's at first base or second base. Okay? Now when we're talking about a proper lead, we want to make sure that we're not getting ourselves in a situation where our feet are going to get tangled up and allow that pitcher to throw behind us and we can't get our feet going back to the base. So number one is, as I'm taking controlled, deliberate steps, I want to make sure my eyes stay on the pitcher, and I'm never caught in a position where I can't break back. Okay, so as I'm taking it, we're going to take a two-part lead. The first one, I've already gotten my signs. I'm going to get off 3 steps. In each one of those steps, I'm never crossing my feet, and I'm never taking my eyes off the pitcher. Okay? Now, when the pitcher comes set, that's going to give me a chance to get 2 more steps. Now I should be at about a distance where it's 1 step, and when I dive back, my hands are going to fall onto that base. Okay, I don't want to be too close. Okay, I'm not giving myself enough of a jump where I might just be 1 step and I'm back, but I also don't want to be too far to the point where I'm scrambling and I can't get back on time. Okay, so typically, if I'm able to get 1, 2, 3, pitcher comes set, 1, 2, now I'm at a position where I'm going to be getting back at the correct distance. Okay? I've heard different people say that if I line up on the front side of the base against a right-handed pitcher, it's going to give him a deception that makes it look like I'm closer to the base when I'm actually not. I don't know how true that is, to be honest. What I typically want to do to make sure that we're doing this the simplest that we can is let's make sure that we go from the center of the base, and anytime we dive back to the back corner, just because that's going to give us more of a reach for the first baseman. Okay, so we're going to lead off from the center of the base, stay centered in the baseline, and anytime we come back, we're going to go back to the back side of first base with our left hand so that we're able to stay out of the tag zone from the first baseman. Now, once I have my proper lead, I'm going to shorten it up right now just so I can stay in the camera shot. But I want to make sure that I'm in an athletic position. I've got a good view of the pitch being delivered and the catcher receiving the ball. And as soon as that pitcher goes, I'm either going to be breaking in a straight steal or I'm going to enter my secondary lead. And my secondary lead is a way to get my momentum going to second base while I'm maintaining a controlled position where my eyes are able to read everything that's going on at the plate and allow me to make my first decision, whether that's a ball being received by the catcher, a pass ball, or a ball put in play. Okay, so when we're talking about a secondary lead, we want to do a series of short, controlled side hops. Okay, it's important that we don't go too quick or too high up and down because that's going to make my eyes move and it's going to give me a tough time seeing the ball and making a read. So once I get through my regular lead, I'm athletic, I can see the pitcher deliver the pitch. I want a series of low and controlled side shuffles just to make sure that my eyes don't get too bouncy and don't allow me to see what's happening at the plate. All right, if I'm doing a delayed steal, I'm going to break my delayed steal out of that secondary lead. So I'm going to get my shuffle, and that's when I'm going to break on the delayed steal. With the delayed steal, what we're trying to do is actually get the catcher and the middle infielders caught off guard. Okay, we're not stealing that on the pitcher-catcher timing. We're stealing that on the catcher communication timing with the middle infielders. Okay, if they don't know I'm going, the goal being I can steal second base without anybody covering second base. Now, when I'm taking a lead at second base, I want to give myself every advantage that I can. All right, so because of the way the pitcher has to turn to pick off, I have more time and I can get a longer lead, and I can also create a better angle going to third base. Okay, so what I mean by that is when I get set up at second base, And now the pitcher's in front of me. I'm still taking my sign on the base, looking at my third base coach. And now when it's time to leave, I want to lead off on a 45-degree angle back from the base. So I can use the corners of the base to give myself direction. I'm going to lead back at 45 degrees, just a few steps. And now I like to call this an active leadoff. Because when I'm leading off a second base, I'm not just taking my standard steps and planting my feet. Okay, as long as my coach is letting me know that I have time, okay, and our coaches are going to use a good when they want you to stop going, and a more when they want you to increase your lead. Okay, another thing is if between pitches, coach is trying to let you know you can get a bigger lead, a lot of times we'll go like this, extend your lead, letting you know you have more to get. So I'm going to go at my 45 degrees, and now when I'm leading off at second base, I always want to have active feet. Okay, so when I'm leading off, I'm not going to stop. My goal here is never to stop my feet. As a pitcher, your goal should be to stop the runner's feet at second base by giving him looks or stepping off. But as a runner, I want to constantly be inching towards third base and giving myself every opportunity I can. If that pitcher is not paying attention to me, I can get as far as I want to go, knowing that if he delivers that pitch, I have plenty of time to work back before the catcher's going to be able to deliver a throw to second base. Okay, so I'm working at 45 degrees. This also gives me a better angle to round third base. And now I'm working. And I'm slowly inching. And this goes for if we have a straight steal on too. I can work as far as I want to go, knowing my feet are moving, and I'm ready to steal third base. Okay, we never want to have dead feet when we lead off at second. So I'm going back on my angle. I'm working off the base. And now I'm giving every bit that they're going to give me. I'm taking it all. If they don't want to cover me, they don't want to work in, I'm going to continue working off until my coach says good. Even when he says good, I'm going to stay in place with active feet, and now the pitch is delivered, I'm going to perform my secondary lead just like we talked about at first base. Okay? Use what they give you, take every inch you can, because that's just more of an advantage of us rounding third base and scoring on a base hit. All right. Our last lead is at third base. And at third base, we're going to take what we call a walking lead, meaning we're going to change our lead from a side step with a secondary shuffle at the other two bases to a walking lead where we're facing home plate at third base. What I mean by that is when I'm at third base, I want to start by first getting in foul territory. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I'm leading off in foul territory, not that I'm inside the field of play. So I'm going to get in foul territory. Now I'm going to take a step, I'm going to get off the base. And now as the pitcher is delivering, I'm going to start a walking lead, meaning I'm going to take very planned out timed steps towards the plate where I'm actually facing home plate so that now if the ball's put in play or there's a pass ball, I can see and make the decision that I need to. I'm going to make a good read. Okay, so when I'm taking my lead, I'm going to get in foul territory. Pitcher has the ball, I'm going to make sure that my eyes stay on the pitcher. And now as he starts to deliver, I'm just going to deliberately walk to home plate, with the goal being to time my last step as the ball crosses the plate. If we work on that timing, the timing of that last step will allow me to make my read and continue on without ever stopping, whether that's a pass ball, whether that's a ground ball that I'm going to try to beat out a throw at the plate, or now I realize I have to tag up, so I get back to the base and I get ready to tag up. Okay, the timing of that last step is important. So when the pitcher is in the windup, we're going to do a 5-step walking lead. When the pitcher's throwing out of the stretch, we're going to do a 3-step walking lead to make sure that the timing of our steps times up with the ball crossing home plate. And our coaches will remind us of that. So pitcher's throwing out of the stretch, I get into foul territory, eyes on the pitcher, he starts his delivery. 1, 2, 3 is when the ball is crossing the plate. Okay, and doing that allows me to keep my eyes steady, my momentum going to the plate, so that if we do have a pass ball, it's a seamless movement to me breaking to score that run. Or if it's a ground ball that I've got to be aggressive on and try to beat a throw at the plate, my timing isn't going to slow me down from beating out that throw. Okay, so when we get to third base, let's make sure we avoid the side-to-side shuffle, because now that's an extra time that I need to turn and make my commitment. The last thing that I want to touch on with base running is making sure that we're focused on everything that's going on. And that's a challenging thing to do, but the more you practice it and the more you pick up those instincts, the easier it'll get. Because like we've been talking about in our classroom sessions, base running is a place where we can take control of the game and take stuff away from the other team. Okay, so it's important that as a base runner, I'm aware of what the pitcher's doing, I'm aware of where the infield is set up, I'm aware of what the catcher's instincts are, whether he likes to throw a lot or he doesn't like to throw a lot. Okay, and I also have to be able to focus on those things with my eyes while I listen to my coach. Okay, if my coach is saying get more, or you're good, or back, I need to be able to hear what he's saying while I'm visually assessing everything that's going on the field. Okay, so the more you practice that, it's important to be able to listen to my coach, see what's going on so I can make reads and make decisions, okay? But also at the same time while I'm doing those, be comfortable enough that I'm still moving. Okay, I think the reason a lot of guys struggle with leadoffs is they're nervous, or they're uncomfortable, or they're not confident that they're going to be able to do those things and not get picked off. Okay, the more you do them, the easier it's going to get. So if I'm taking my leadoff at second base, I see a lot of younger players just stuck because they're staring at the pitcher, and while they're staring at the pitcher, they're not listening to their coaches and they're not moving their feet. So instead of having a good active lead that allows us to have an advantage going to third base, we're stuck because we're scared that that pitcher might pick off. Okay, so the more that we do this, we have to build a trust in our coaches and a trust in ourselves that if we listen to them and we get a feel for the distance, now I become looser on the bases and I'm able to take the correct lead and do the things that do give me an advantage. Okay, so when we do get outside and we start to practice these things, we can practice the mechanics of it, but realistically, we're only going to get better by learning it in a game, because there's no way to simulate that pitcher with my coach talking, with fielders moving around me, that's as good as a live rep. Okay, so when we get into games, this is something that's important to make sure that if I'm not comfortable with doing it myself, that I really put that trust in my coaches and listen to them because they want to do what's best for me and what's best for the team. Okay, so when you're out there, if you are uncomfortable, before you get off that base, take a breath, assess what's going on, and tell yourself, I'm just going to listen to my coach. I'm going to see for myself what's going on, and I'm going to listen to my coach, and I'm going to stay relaxed. Because if we stay relaxed on the bases, we're going to make quicker, better decisions. All right? So, glad that we were able to cover this stuff really quickly through a learning session, all right? Because once we get on the field, like I said, this is a hard thing to practice because it's very instinctual. Okay, but if you guys understand it first, we can practice it briefly, the mechanics of it, and then once you get in a game, that should allow you to develop that confidence faster and get more comfortable doing it. All right, guys, I hope you had a chance to enjoy this beautiful day. Tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day again, even nicer than today. So I'm going to do another one of these videos for tomorrow so that we don't take up time during the day when you guys can be outside getting some work in and having some fun enjoying that weather. So I'll have another video available for you guys tomorrow evening, and then we'll pick up with another classroom session on Wednesday. All right, guys, be safe, enjoy the time with your family, and I'll see you soon. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,